Greetings. What is it that Atul did yesterday? Let's see if that works. Greetings to all my esteemed colleagues and friends today. My name is Medha Jaishankar, and I work for JetSynthesys, Inc. I am a film producer with a passion for good stories, as well as a technology entrepreneur. And it is my honor and privilege to speak with you today about an extraordinary individual. Just as we seek to tell stories that inspire, today I get to introduce you to a real-life protagonist whose tale is one of dedication, innovation, and relentless pursuit of security in an ever-evolving world. A woman who has made it her mission to protect this nation's digital heartbeat. I'm talking about none other than the remarkable Anne Neuberger. Imagine for a moment a character in a grand narrative. She sits at the heart of our national security as the Deputy Assistant of the President and Deputy National Security Advisor for Cyber and Emerging Technology. This character, like any great hero, has responsibilities that are not just formidable, but critical to this nation's future. And that character is not a work of fiction. She's real. She's Anne. Now, imagine a pivotal scene where she leads cybersecurity at the National Security Council and takes on the challenge of mastering quantum-resistant cryptography, a field as complex and nuanced as it sounds. Just like in a movie, she's trying to crack the code to ensure this nation's safety and security. And that's Anne's reality. In a world that's racing towards an increasingly digital future, Anne's story is a beacon of hope. Her dedication, her spirit of service, and her commitment to pushing boundaries resonate with the heroes we strive to portray on the big screen. Again, with all respect to all the esteemed members in this room, I present to you a hero who lives among us, a stalwart of cybersecurity, and a beacon of dedication and service. Miss Anne Neuberger. Let's take a moment to appreciate her story, her remarkable contributions to this country's national security. As we navigate the plot twists and turns of our modern world, it is heartening to know that we have heroes like Anne leading the way. I can't wait to see what comes next in this film. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Anne Neuberger.
I think we'd all love to be introduced by Medha sometime in the near future. Thank you, Medha, for that really kind and just lovely introduction, rather generous, I might say. It's truly wonderful to be here to discuss a deep and broad agenda on technology and digital development. Welcome in particular to our visitors from Delhi. It's wonderful to have you here, and we hope you've had a series of fruitful exchanges. There's an important partnership between India and the United States, including our joint work on secure digital infrastructure, some of the work that Medha was referencing. Digital infrastructure is life. It's access, particularly in each of our country's rural areas, to education, to markets, to telemedicine in many cases. Indeed, India proved this during the pandemic, giving life-saving food and finances to tens of millions of individuals around the country through India's really innovative digital public infrastructure, a model for the world as we look around the world and the many countries who were attempting to help their populations struggling with the debilitating pandemic. We can look to see the power of digital public infrastructure by what India was able to accomplish at scale in a very quick time period. So our digital partnership isn't new. It builds on the strong partnership we already have between our two countries, not least of which is the people-to-people exchange so represented here by the USIBC, and a thank you to Ambassador Cheshup's leadership in that way, bringing people together and building on the great Indian diaspora here in the US. I'm particularly pleased to be here under the banner of this year's theme: trust, resilience, and growth. These are all key to our joint work between the US and India to advance technologies that are trusted, improve connectivity, and offer long-term economic and national security advantage. Whether it's AI, software, or advanced telecoms, all three of these elements are core to our digital partnership. There's no greater joy than a good book. And I was recently flipping through two books that are my favorites. One is The Argumentative Indian by Nobel laureate Amartya Sen. And the second is The Technological Indian by American historian Rob Bassett. Public debate and technological innovation are core to both Indian and American societies, each in the pursuit of human welfare, making human lives better, and are central to the future of both of our countries and central to the intertwined nature of the future of both of our countries. Cities and communities around the world, particularly in the US and India, are incorporating more sensors, more artificial intelligence, and faster communication networks into their cities, into the systems that make citizens' lives every single day more productive, more enjoyable, safer, and more healthy. So let's talk about the digital horizons in each of these areas. Artificial intelligence promises to be the defining technology of our era. We need to harness it for the betterment of our society, so our societies thrive and don't just survive the societal impact we know we will face. I'm especially intrigued, for example, by the multilingual capabilities of large language models and the promise it offers a country as diverse linguistically as India. So as like-minded countries, we need to work together to figure out how to drive AI innovation in a responsible way. And we will all benefit if we can do so together, with our respective resources in data, compute, algorithms, and most importantly, people. But we must ensure as we do so that these systems are secure. So to do this, we're working to incorporate security and interoperability from the ground up, and working to develop innovative privacy-enhancing technologies and ways to leverage AI for our nation's cybersecurity. As more of our world becomes interconnected, it becomes exposed to both more opportunities and more threats, and we need to address them from the ground up together. So specifically, on the cybersecurity side, we're driving to more secure networks, more trustworthy devices, and more resilient AI models. We're thinking through how to best promote innovation and protect our vital systems. This, of course, means working together and working to bring both India's world-leading talent, the United States' world-leading talent together in pursuit of a positive vision of how these systems should be built and secured. For example, we know new technologies promise to reduce air pollution, increase road safety, enhance food and water security, and improve equitable access to essential services. But these same promising technologies also represent interesting targets for both nation-states and criminals for malevolent, malicious purposes. So we're working to upgrade the security of our systems today and ensure security for the more complex systems of tomorrow. This particularly is the core focus of our cyber partnership with India, one that's deep and is growing broader. And we're working to build towards holistic, baked-in security across the board for hardware and software. Early in the Biden administration, President Biden issued an executive order on cybersecurity that for the first time said, we will fully use the power of government's purchases of software to drive more secure software for government and for the companies and individuals using the same software. To build on that, the Quad, in which the US and India are two of the major members, recently committed to also implementing common software standards for member governments to bring together the power of all of our procurement to drive more secure software. And in a message to all the private sector executives in the room, we also recognize that having one set of standards for companies to build to and then sell into multiple markets is an attractive incentive. So we're working to do so, even as each country has its own standards. They are the same so that companies can sell and sell much more secure software. That brings us to telecommunications, which underpins our economies and underpins the national security in each of our countries. Our data, our research and technology, our companies' intellectual property, our nation's secrets, all ride on our telecommunications networks. And India and the US are focused on ensuring that today's and tomorrow's 5G and 6G networks are secure. Indeed, we're now on the precipice of a new approach that has the potential to change the landscape for improved security, lower cost, and supplier diversity. The Open Radio Access Movement, or Open RAN. And I believe Senator Warner talked about it a bit earlier. Over the last few years, we've seen an acceleration of Open RAN architecture-based deployments around the world. These serve as proof points for the scale, robustness, and viability of this open standards approach. There's a unique opportunity for both India and the United States to collaborate on Open RAN research and development and deployment to ensure we can together be more competitive and innovative, to offer more lower cost options to the global market, and achieve state-of-the-art performance. Indeed, this is something we are working towards already and look forward to delivering concrete outcomes in the near future. New technologies will continue to transform how we work and how we live, how we give our people cleaner water, equitable access to telecommunications, faster communications, and better educations, the dreams of every government and every citizen in our societies. We must foster that innovation while keeping ourselves safe. The United States is eager to work with India and US and Indian companies as we bend the arc of technological progress to a smart and secure future. Thank you again to the Chamber and the US IBC for bringing together this wonderful group, and be well.